Hello everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour, and I haven't done one of these in ages, so I'm really excited to do this, and it's mainly because I don't really get much free time because I'm always writing essays for school and doing so much schoolwork, but this summer I'm hoping to change that because I'm going to have a super long summer before I go to university, which also relates to this sketchbook because a lot of this sketchbook was aimed at my university interviews, so I was trying to make this one really good. And I do think it is a lot better than any of the other sketchbooks I've shown on my channel, and I think it's been nearly a year since I last showed a sketchbook on this channel, so hopefully there should be some improvements. So this next page of my sketchbook is probably my favourite one. Just because I explored lots of different things that I don't usually draw. So obviously other than the watercolour painting, which is kind of just in my comfort zone, just like a portrait of a girl with, you know, kind of like the standard features I'd say I would draw. However, I also wanted to explore drawing a cat, so this is my cat Malcolm. These are all based on like life drawings, so he was standing in front of me and I was sketching all these drawings out. And I'm pretty proud of these. I never actually posted these to Instagram, but I'm really proud of these because I feel like I captured movement in some of them. Like especially these two, I really like how that one came out. And then these bunny ones were just done from like reference on Google. I was kind of trying to see how I could morph like semi-realism into drawing a cat or a bunny rabbit. And I can see how I got it there. But what I think is interesting is certain drawings up here are more realistic than other ones. This one is a lot more realistic than this one, which actually looks kind of cartoony. And as for this is just a watercolour painting that is done completely with watercolour, and I did use a Winsor & Newton sepia ink to outline it. I don't even know, I don't think that's what it's called. I love using Winsor & Newton inks with like dip pens. I find them so fun to use and like line things with. Then on the next page we have something that's a little bit more illustrative, and this really just kind of relates to what I was doing in art at the time. So at school we have to choose specific themes for each module, and my theme was life and death. It's not really particularly obvious within this drawing, but I was just kind of like brainstorming ideas of things that I could draw. I don't know why I put the teardrop, but what I really like about this is the combination of all the biro work with the like watercolour wash in the background. I really like how that looks, so I think if I did a series of drawings like with that kind of process, it would look really cool. And then I just had the leaves in the background, which were meant to represent life, and the twigs, the branches, I don't know, they were meant to symbolise death. But now that I think about it, I don't really know how that would work because they are natural things, unless they were like from a dead tree or something. But I don't really know what I was trying to convey there. And I did actually end up colouring over this and turning it into a digital piece as well, which I'll put on screen. But I much prefer how the traditional one came out here with all the pastel tones in the background. This is another one of my favourite pages. I was really trying to capture different people, but still keep it kind of stylistic. This one's from a photograph, this one is inspired from a photograph, and this one is just from my own imagination. And I love how this character came out. I think she's so cute, and I love her little bird on the shoulder. I think I was trying to draw a parrot, but I didn't really use any reference, which is kind of evident there. But what I really like about this is I tried to do like a pose, and I like how it came out. The pose was kind of referenced, which is why it looks okay. I feel like the feet could be a lot bigger, because it looks like she has incredibly small feet right now. But I really do like how this came out. And you guys are always going on at me, Jenna, draw some full body drawings. Well, there you go, there's a full body drawing. I just can't do like a full body like painting. Do you realize how long that would take me? I only have like one day to make my YouTube videos. I would not be able to get that done in time. And this guy, I thought he looked so cool, but just to make the composition a little bit more interesting, I added like this purple and blue smoke around him. And I really like how that looked. I think he looks quite mystical. Oh, and another thing. You can probably tell what I was trying to do here, but I was doing like the whole colour selection thing where you make one specific part of the drawing have colour just to emphasise that bit. And I really like how I did that. I tried to make each one different in its colour selection. And this page is my gouache experiments. So I'd never used gouache before, and I thought I would really challenge myself by trying to do a landscape study first of all, and then this observation is based off of a portrait I saw on Pinterest. I can't remember which one it was, but I'm sure if you searched portrait photography on Pinterest, it will probably come up at some point. But yeah, I'm really happy with how these came out. I actually only have the primary colours, a black and a white in gouache paints. So these are all made out of mixing the colours. And what I didn't realise is you can actually make a painting out of any of those colours. Like, if you have the primary colours and a black and a white, you're basically sorted for making any colour. It just takes a lot of mixing. But this was definitely a learning process for me. It was quite hard, but I'd love to try and do more gouache work in the future and make more gouache videos, because I just kind of miss making traditional videos anyway. I don't want to have too much of like a digital overload, and I know some people really prefer to see my traditional work. Then my next page is like figure drawings. So one of the things that the universities really wanted to see was figure drawings, and there are certain aspects of the anatomy that are wrong, but they are all done in like 5 minutes from photos, so they're not all completely perfect, but I am really happy with how they came out. I especially love the pose used in this one. You can find lots of really cool figure drawing websites online, although I do really recommend going to a live figure drawing session. It may be really awkward for you at first. I know my first figure drawing session we did at school when I was about 15, and I was really immature, and like me and my friends were all giggly like, oh my god, it's a naked person and we have to draw them. But I think as time goes on you get more used to it, and it definitely helps with understanding of human anatomy and human form. But I know I need to do a ton more figure drawing studies before I actually have any kind of grip on anatomy. This next page is all marker observations, and these are based off of photographs of my sister, and I use Winsor and Newton brush markers for this because they're my favourite to do like grayscale studies, and I really like how they came out. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, I added like highlighters in the background of each one, and I was just trying to explore like different expressions here. I feel like I could have asked her to do some more extreme ones. They would have been really cool to draw, but I really like how this looked, and I'm happy with the hands as well. Like, the hands came out alright, and you guys know I struggle with hands a lot, so this was a lot of fun to do. Then we have some hand studies. This was done using my Derwent black pencil to do the hand studies themselves and colour them in. And then I just used a Winsor & Newton chisel tip in the backgrounds just to fill in those areas. And I didn't end up finishing that one. And then at the bottom we just have some more figure drawings. I apologise to anyone who didn't want to see any like nude figures in this, but this was all for my portfolio and, you know, understanding human anatomy. Although I hate how this one looks. That was rubbish. I did that so quickly. But, you know, with time I will get much better at doing them. So this next page is really interesting because it's actually based off, well, it's not based off, it's the concept art for a 3D model I ended up making. If any of you guys are familiar with the program ZBrush, that is what I used to create the 3D model of this and texture them and everything else. So I'll put an image on screen of that now. Bear in mind, this is my first time I ever made a 3D model, so I had no idea what I was doing, and it was all a bit of a learning process. I'll also put up a picture of the work in progress because that's kind of funny. She kind of ended up looking like a spider person. It was really scary, but I really like the ones at the bottom that were in red that were a little bit more sketchy. I thought it would be really cool if I had this like grandma character secretly turn into a ninja at night or something. I thought that would be like a really cool idea. And I really like her design. I think she's different from a lot of characters I tend to draw. She has very exaggerated features on purpose. She's not meant to look very like based on reality. It was more of like a cartoony experiment to see how I could push the like 3D modeling software, and I'm hoping to in the future actually try and make the rest of the body in the modelling software and then try animating it or something. The next page is just more figure drawing stuff. I really like how this guy came out. I really like the muscle definition I managed to achieve. I had more time for this drawing than that one, evidently, but I'm still quite happy with both of them, and this is where my figure drawings were starting to get a little bit better. This page is a bit rubbish. It's not very good. It was done really quickly with some biro. I just wanted to do some really quick muscle studies to try and understand better like the muscles in like the torso a little bit better, and I thought having that understanding of the muscles and then the skeleton will help me understand the anatomy a bit more. Then this next page is when I got much more back into using Fineliner again, so all these drawings are done using Fineliner. And I will show you which one. It's the Staedtler pigment liner. It's a 0.1 fine liner, and I like it because it's just the right size for me, and I also have some other sizes as well. And then this was a bit more of like a watercolor experiment. I was just playing around with some watercolor. And then finally we have a little biro sketch of Jenna, which is my character Ember, and Zoe Mariner's character Jalal. And in the background I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting by adding like this watercolor effect of fire, because both of our characters have fire powers. So I thought that'd be a really cute addition. But basically Jenna is the ship of these two characters, because loads of people ship our characters together, and I personally do as well. I think they're so cute. But it's not actually canon to the comic, unfortunately. All kinds of random sketches going on here. A lot of them aren't particularly good. I hate this one. This was just an attempt at doing anatomy without reference, and obviously I need to look at a lot more reference. Something about this whole area here and the nose positioning on the face. It's too much to the side for the angle that she's actually looking towards us, if that makes sense. But all the ones here are done in biro. I love using biro in my sketchbooks. I find it so fun. And these little ones here and here, it was just me doodling in red pencil, and I was trying to get a dynamic pose. It wasn't really working, but I do really like how that pose came out. And there I was just trying to draw a different body type, trying to see how I'd approach that. I really like how this came out, but someone on Instagram actually pointed out that the hair needs to be back a bit, because her head would actually be bigger than that. The hair would go back a bit more, which is a mistake I made on that, unfortunately. We have an eye, then we have Shishi, which is like this like horse slash butterfly character. I've made as a companion to Lila, one of my characters who I featured in one of my earlier videos. So I'm just trying to work out how Shishi would look, but I accidentally used elephant feet for reference for the feet. I don't really know how I could accidentally use elephant feet, but somehow I managed it, guys. I don't know. And this is kind of based off of Haley Steinfeld, because I was watching The Edge of 17, but it doesn't really look like her. I don't think I captured her likeness very well. And the very last thing is me trying to visualize how to draw an angle where you're looking up at someone's face through not actually looking through reference, but trying to use the whole cube technique, where you use cube guidelines to try and work out where aspects of the face would be. And for not using reference, I don't think this is too bad. However, the nose just looks really odd. But I think I should work on the different perspectives of the face a bit more. I'm getting a lot better at side view of the face, but it's still really hard for me. But yeah, I have had so much fun showing you guys this sketchbook, and I would definitely keep you updated so when it's completely filled up, because I am going to be working on it a lot over the next coming weeks, hopefully. So we should be able to have another sketchbook update again soon, because I love doing these and I know you guys really like to watch them. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be back tomorrow with another video, so I will see you then. Bye guys!